Hey y'all, how you doing? Alright, what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about builder's levels and how to lay a foundation. So if you look over here, that is known as what's called a transit. It's also commonly called a builder's level. We're going to teach you a little bit about how to set it up, and we're going to teach you why you use it. Thanks a lot. Be back in a second. Okay, this is a transit or a builder's level. If you look through this little scope section here, I don't know if the camera will do that or not. Nope, all you get's a little. Anyway, you can look through that thing. Alright, it's got like a scope on the inside, but just like an X. That allows us to give a level that stays at the same level. If you look here, there's also a level. So if we set the transit level, then we know that line is level. And then we can use that to help level our foundation. So, first thing I'm going to do is teach you how to level it. Alright, with this bubble running to the back, that means that the front needs to come up. We've got these little circle things here, and we can play with them until we get the bubble to move. There we go. Now we're getting some motion. Hey, finally it moved. Alright, so we want to center that thing on those two little black notches. Now, this is what a lot of people don't realize. You need to turn this thing 90 degrees and do that exact same thing. So, alright, so now we're level at this 90 degrees. And then we take it and turn it back and make sure that bubble doesn't move any, which it didn't. Then we go continuously in a circle, make sure that bubble stays put. Alright, so now our transit has been set to level. So the line inside the transit is also level. Once we're done with that, we stomp the foot pegs in and then we check it again. So we push foot peg, and we go back and check it, and we might have to adjust it, and we do. So alright, so that's set. Turn 90 degrees. Oh my goodness, it moved all over the place. So we're gonna have to fix that. So we're gonna do that, and we'll get back with you in a second. All right, so we got the transit set. So what we're doing now is we're laying concrete platforms down so that we can set the building on those concrete platforms. I'm gonna run piers down from the flooring to actually set the concrete, or set the piers on. We've got it laid out with string. Kind of have it lifted up in the air a little bit for right now, so that we can work around them. But before it's all said and done, we'll drop that down. And in general, if you look, this row is done. They all pretty much are at about the same elevation. And that's what we check with the transit, it's to check the elevation. So, give me a second. All right, this fancy stick is called a rod. If you go up to it, you'll notice that there are numbers, big red numbers and black numbers. The red numbers are feet, black numbers are inches, and then there's smaller numbers in there that help you to stay where you're at. They don't actually measure anything, they just remind you whether you're on 4 or 5. So for example, if I look through my transit and my line was right there, my elevation would be 4 feet 6 inches. And now when you're working on this stuff, it's all relative, because the reality is that block is not 4 feet 6 inches in the air. But when my rod is sitting on it like that, and I line it up with my transit, which is over there, when I look through, I'm going to see that my line is crossing right there at 4 feet 6 inches. And we can use that to check elevation the whole way up and down, and we can move forward or backwards. All we have to do is focus the transit on our builder's level, and that will tell us if we have the right elevation for all these pads. We want to have the right elevation, because if we don't have the right elevation, we could actually have the building shift or crack once we get it all built. So that is setting the foundation, and we're going to show you how to set a foundation block here in a second. Okay, so now what we're doing, we've got this block in and we know it's level. We want this block to be pretty much directly across from it, and if you look, it's a little bit out, but this one's a little bit out too. This block needs to be rotated slightly. So we're going to rotate it a little bit, get it back in place right, and we're going to check it for level. All right, whenever we put the level on this, it's a little bit out of level. So we're going to have to bring one side up a little bit. If we check it the other way, it's running a little high too. So we're going to make those adjustments, and I'll be back with you in a second. We made some adjustments and we're level here. We're level here. So now our next thing we have to check is elevation. So we'll use the transit to check it for elevation, compare it to the other stones, and that foundation block is set. We just repeat this over and over again until we have a foundation block set for all our piers. All right, thank you.